Okay. So the training is going to be a little bit different. Reason being that in our hypergrowth bundle, we first started with the Prisma Access, and later on we got the license for Prisma's SD-WAN, right? So it took us some time to procure the licenses. So now what we are going to do is like first we will build our fabric, the SD-WAN fabric, right? And then we will integrate it with Prisma Access. Okay. So this will give you the transition, or this will help you understand, this, you can say, migration process or the transformation process. If a customer is having the legacy environment and if they are planning to, you know, uh, migrate from legacy environment to SASE based framework, then what would be the strategy, how you are going to plan it out? Because when you do WAN transformation, it is not going to complete in just 1 day. A lot of planning is needed, right? So if customer is having on-prem data center, multiple branches, you know, more than 50, 100 branches, he is also having cloud presence, multi-cloud presence, then why SD-WAN is important? Why other technologies like MPLS, it cannot solve my problem? So earlier the thing was like, if you go back with the traditional architectures, right, how your branches were connected. So we used to buy one MPLS cloud from the tier one ISPs, and they used to give us the VRF, right? Through that VRF, my traffic was segregated within the MPLS cloud from the other customers, and I used to get connected with all of my branches and hub and spoke topology or full mesh, whatever you need. The topology we used to build at WAN side so that all offices they can communicate to the data center, uh, you know, and internet can break out from data center. This was the initial thought process. But now what is happening? It's like due to adoption of SaaS based products, like we have every other product SaaS based, right? So your applications are moving from on-premise infrastructure to, you know, uh, cloud-based infrastructure. So MPLS is a private cloud, right? It will not give you direct internet breakout because there are compliances
So बैठ नहीं रहा
which,
phone में.
can you please mute yourself? Please unmute.
Sorry, it was me. Sorry. My bad.
So, MPLS was creating the bottleneck for the customers for local internet breakout. Reason being that you cannot give local internet breakout on your branches if you are using MPLS cloud. If you will ask your ISP that I want direct internet access from the MPLS cloud, your ISP might deny the request because as ISP has already signed the MOU with other customers regarding this, right? So there is a compliance which ISP cannot break. Yeah? So they might not give you direct access of internet, but there are cases where ISP might provide you the direct internet access through the MPLS cloud as well. But still, it will be aggregation point for all of your branches. Okay? So now what we used to do for setup like this, we used to send the traffic on the data center for internet bound applications. And from there, it used to go over the internet. So earlier in my enterprise network, 80% traffic was private application traffic. 40% traffic used to be the internet bound applications, but now things have changed. Now it's almost opposite. So it's like 80% traffic is your internet bound traffic, and 20% traffic is your private application traffic, which are hosted in your data center. Because the way we are connected today through Microsoft Teams, this is in SaaS application. So earlier things were different. So now, like Microsoft Teams, SharePoint, Office 365, uh, Salesforce, your other SAP-based applications, You're still on mute. So all these applications have moved to internet. So now you need, it's your necessity to have direct internet access from the branches, right? Otherwise, you won't be able to provide the required. Uh, can you please mute?
Chintan.
That's why I have to use the dual screen. Unfortunately, I'm not having it right now, so no problem. Okay, so that's why we need internet connections on each branches today, right? Now, internet is not reliable, especially if you go to countries like South Africa, or if you go to that continent, especially in Africa, internet is not reliable. Internet is neither reliable in India too, right? Now, if an enterprise is deciding to go on internet-based connectivity, right, and build secure tunnels from all branches, you cannot go with one link. Okay? You would be needing another link. So what this device is solving, why SD-WAN, I mean, so if you do the cost comparison, if the business operations are very critical, you might be buying two MPLS circuits, one from one ISP, one from another ISP. You will be getting very less bandwidth and you will be paying so much for that. Instead of that, if you go with one lease line, we also call it internet lease line, right? And another link, it could be broadband, it could be LTE based, right? Broadband can give you more bandwidth. So in the same cost of MPLS, you get internet lease line, you get broadband connection, as well as you get this device. So for MPLS also, you were using some sort of router, maybe Cisco router, Juniper router, whatever it is, because you have to have the CH device, right? So that it can connect with the PH, or you can say PE device, provider edge, provider end, right? And you can get connected to the cloud. So that cost, MPLS cloud cost, everything is getting optimized with the help of the SD-WAN device. And SD-WAN device is giving you the flexibility to do the load balancing across both the underlays. One is your internet lease line, another one is your broadband. So you're getting that flexibility, right? That it can do the smart routing, it can do the application-based routing. The normal routers cannot do that. So SD-WAN router can do it. Based on your application, it can decide which path I need to take. On top of it, it is continuously monitoring your underlays. It is tracking the SLAs. If my business critical application is very much uh, concerned with latency, I can define the SLAs that if my SLA of any underlay is going beyond this particular parameter, so I'll not use that particular underlay, because this is what you get in MPLS. In MPLS, you get controlled jitter, you get controlled latency, and you get minimum packet loss. But when you switch your underlay connectivity of any location from MPLS to internet based, over internet, you cannot control latency, you cannot control jitter, right? For that, you need to buy the premium links, and the cost is very high. You need to buy direct routing from the ISP, cost is very high for that, right? So it's not like that over internet, you cannot buy direct routing if one office is in one country, another office is another country. If you need direct routing over internet, that is also supported. But those are premium internet lease lines. So that you won't be getting for sure, because cost is very high. Then you will feel like that instead of this, I should be having MPLS unit. So the major problem with internet was like that how you are going to control the parameters or the metrics like latency, packet loss, jitter. If my application today we all are connected through Teams. If today I'll right now I'll face problem with my broadband, right? So this meeting you will feel the jitter. I mean there will be lag in my voice. If I'm saying at this moment, you will hear it after some time, right? This is what jitter is. And latency will also create a problem in delivering the packets. Okay? So this you cannot control on internet. So what SD-WAN is solving for you that you can buy multiple links. You can buy one link, standard internet lease line of 100 Mbps. If you have 100 plus employees, somewhere close to 100, 150 employees. So you can have one lease line. You can buy one Gbps of broadband connection, which will not cost you more. Because if you going in India, I can share the prices with you. If you want 1 Gbps line, that is your lease line in India, it will cost you somewhere around 20 lakhs a year, 1 Gbps. Okay. On the other hand, if you go to broadband, in broadband, you can buy 1 Gbps connection close to 10,000, 15,000 a month. It will not go beyond 1.5 to 2 lakhs a year. Okay. So this difference you get. Now, what SD-WAN can do, SD-WAN can club. So one WAN link you have of 100 Mbps, another WAN link of 1 Gbps is can club those bandwidth and it can give you the virtual band. Now, the problem with broadband link is like there is a contention ratio. It is not 1:1. Okay? So in these lines, 100 Mbps means 100 Mbps upload, 100 Mbps download. This is the exact value you are going to get. But in broadband, there is a contention ratio 1:8, 1:6. For enterprise broadband, it will be 1:6. For home broadband, it will be 1:8. It means it means that your upload and download speed will not be same. If you're buying 1 Gbps, it won't be like that, that you will be getting 1 Gbps upload and 1 Gbps download in broadband connection. Now, what I've seen in the industry is like that they buy internet circuits. Let's take an example. We have purchased internet lease line of 100 Mbps. They have 150 users. And when users are performing speed test in their laptop, they don't get complete 100 Mbps. So the IT team, they usually call out the ISPs and they make complaint that you have given us the 100 Mbps link, but we are not getting it, right? When ISP visits your place, take out the lease line from your firewall or router, put it in his laptop and share the speed that see speed is coming 100 Mbps. But why it is not coming to your users? The answer is your bandwidth is getting divided among the users. Today, if you see the biggest challenge in the IT industry or for any industry is the bandwidth. Till what extent you will upgrade your bandwidth, right? Because applications are becoming heavy. This Teams is very heavy application, right? It consumes a lot of bandwidth. So how you're gonna ensure that you have the appropriate bandwidth? So normal calculation we do, it's like if I have 100 user base, a user count user base. So I will be having 100 Mbps of lease line. So one user will be consuming 1 Mbps of the bandwidth, 1 megabit per second. This is what my understanding. So if 100 users are there, so 100 Mbps will be consumed. Right? So at that point of time, if they will be doing speed test, they cannot get complete bandwidth because it is getting shared among the users. Okay? So this SD-WAN, what it is going to do? You have 100 Mbps lease line. You have 1 Gbps of broadband connection. So effectively, it will combine both of them and it will give you the bandwidth of close to 400 MB or 500 Mbps. Because in broadband, you will not get the complete bandwidth. It is not 1:1, it is 1:8, the contention ratio. But ILL is 1:1. So this technology is giving you the empowerment that you can club different type of underlays and you get the virtual bandwidth. On top of it, you can have one LTE based connection as well. Okay? So one is your premium ILL or standard ILL. Second connection is broadband. Third, you can buy LTE based connection and you can club the band. You can utilize it. Another thing is like for your business critical applications, you can select that it should go via standard ILL link because there still you will get better performance, like latency will be better than broadband link, right? And your less critical applications or your Facebook or YouTube bound traffic can use the broadband link, right? And other applications which are very less critical, you can use third link. So this application aware routing you get out of this box. Okay. So what SD-WAN is solving for you, first of all, it is automatically monitoring the SLAs of these links. It's continuously monitoring the metrics, right? Packet loss, jitter, latency. And basis on those metrics, if any link is not going to perform well, it can switch over your critical applications to another link as per the configuration, and it will be done automatically. So earlier, customers were paying for the primary circuits as well as for the secondary circuits, but they were not using them as active. So secondary was getting utilized when primary was failing. This is how it used to be earlier. But now this router is intelligently making use of your all the underlays and dividing your traffic. No, it is doing the load balancing, load sharing. So by doing this, I take the doubt session. Please let me just complete the concept and I'll.
Just one thing.
Yeah.
Are you doing some notes here? Like you are doing some drawing? Because we just see the Y SD-WAN PPT
No, no,
slide.
I'm just explaining this
Oh, okay.
PPT only.
Okay.
Why
Okay.
SD-WAN?
Okay. Sure. Oh, thank you.
We were thinking like you were drawing and explaining in the whiteboard, though.
No. I'll do that when we will start the full-fledged training. Okay. Today is the demo session, so a lot of audience have come,
Okay,
so
okay.
they need to understand, what is SD-WAN, what is software-defined WAN, uh, what problem it is going to solve for me, why industry is going after SD-WAN devices, and why Gartner has
Yeah.
included it inside the SASE framework. Well, this is what we need to understand first. Okay. So SD-WAN is solving a lot of problem for you. It is saving cost. It is giving you flexibility in selecting the underlays. Okay. And it is also giving seamless integrations with the multiple cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, GCP. So all of it is doing for you. So when you get these many features, why you will waste your energy on legacy router? And first part is if you go with Cisco legacy router, any Cisco router, the cost of those routers and the SD-WAN firewall come SD-WAN, I'll say Fortinet SD-WAN come firewall, it is 70% less. This is the reason, Fortinet SD-WAN overshoot, right? And now Fortinet is not even selling their product as a firewall. They say it's a SD-WAN router because they're not taking any money from you for that particular feature. It is built in the OS and it is free. On the other hand, every other OEM is charging for the SD-WAN, right? So what Fortinet is doing that they are selling their products that once my product will be on the edge device, right? If it is going to replace Cisco and customer is going to put me as their SD-WAN device, I'll get more opportunity. Then I can, upsell that. Let's switch to secure SD-WAN. You can buy the firewall licenses. You can turn on the firewall engine. Although it was firewall only, okay? But now they are rebranding it and they are saying it like that this is router, and later on you can turn on the firewall features. This will get converted into secure SD-WAN. Now, why Palo Alto? acquired CloudGenix because this Prisma SD-WAN, they have rebranded it. Okay? They have rebranded the CloudGenix SD-WAN as Prisma SD-WAN. They acquired that particular company. Who created CloudGenix? The engineers were from Cisco. So Cisco engineering team, 3 guys were there. They created CloudGenix. Product was good. Palo Alto acquired it, $400 million cash, and rebranded it as Prisma SD-WAN, so that Palo Alto can give you Prisma SASE offering, single OEM SASE solution. Okay? Why there was a need when Palo Alto firewall was already having SD-WAN capabilities, and the way Fortinet has rebranded their solution or integrated the SD-WAN within their OS. Why Palo Alto failed to do that inside their Palo Alto firewall? So whosoever has worked in Palo Alto firewall, if you have configured the SD-WAN in that particular firewall, you will see that achieving the basic use cases of SD-WAN becomes nightmare. First example is DIA, direct internet access or local internet access. If I want to give to Palo Alto firewall by using SD-WAN, it's a nightmare, right? Another thing, you need Panorama to manage it because there is a plugin which you need to install. Then only Panorama will become the controller of that particular device, right? So with traditional SD-WAN solutions, you will see that there is one controller, right? One orchestration is there, which is controlling your configuration of the router. So earlier, with legacy router setup, the thing was like that I will be configuring the routers individually and then making the site live. Okay. But now we have orchestration layer, or you can say a controller through which you can manage your 1,000 routers, right? Or whatever count is this. I mean, whatever count is of your WAN routers, you can manage it through that, and you can, you know, do the configuration in central controller, and through that you can push it to your devices. So basically, the way we divided the management plane and the data plane inside the firewall, in the same way we divided the management plane and data plane in the routers. So your management plane became the controller and your devices became the data plane. So the challenge with Palo Alto was like they were not able to give something that locally your devices can be configured for SD-WAN technology. So they needed a controller. So Panorama became the controller. But on the other hand, if you compare it with Fortinet, Fortinet SD-WAN can be configured locally as well as centrally through FMG. So this was the biggest difference. If I'm a small customer, I'm having only 10 or 15 offices, and I can do my configuration locally for SD-WAN, I'll right away buy the Fortinet SD-WAN rather going on a solution where I need to buy the other components to manage my SD-WAN. Right? So this flexibility you get in Fortinet. So Palo Alto was failing to achieve these use cases with their firewall, and they were not able to give you basic features in a simplified manner. The configuration was very complex, right? The way you do the configuration on that. So they thought of acquiring CloudGenix because CloudGenix was doing good at that point of time, right? So they acquired the CloudGenix and they rebranded it as Prisma SD-WAN. Now, what Palo Alto is doing, Palo Alto is also creating one central controller, or you can say central portal through which you can manage all the Palo Alto products like Prisma SD-WAN, Prisma Access, your firewalls, everything you can manage through that. And the name of that portal is Strata Cloud Manager. So in this training, we will be doing the entire configuration through Strata Cloud Manager, right? So that will become the controller that you can do the configuration centrally, and you can push it to your edge devices, and your edge devices will accept the configuration, and they will become live in the network, and they will start processing your traffic. They will build the SD-WAN fabric. Now, what is SD-WAN fabric that we need to understand? So fabric, it's like when you build so many IPsec tunnels, because SD-WAN is nothing but we are building IPsec tunnels over public links, right? So when you are building so many tunnels from your branches, whether you are going with hub and spoke topology or full mesh, right? So it will, the term only SD-WAN will not justify that. So that's why we call it fabric. That there are so many tunnels, right? So in a combined state, either we will say SD-WAN fabric, or uh, uh, we will say that it is SD-WAN cloud or something. Just like MPLS cloud, we will say something. Represent that there are multiple tunnels which you have created from your branch locations to the hub locations. I'll show you the designs as well, what we have. So what benefits you're getting from SD-WAN ION devices, right? So ION means instant on. Obviously, if Palo Alto has acquired something, they might have seen something in the solution. So when we say SD-WAN fabric, we understand that, okay, there are multiple tunnels, so we are referring to the IPsec tunnels. But here you will see that Palo Alto will call it out application fabric. Now there is a new term, application fabric, right? So what does that mean? So this app-defined fabric means it is going to provide you direct-to-app access that ensures an exceptional user experience for all applications like SaaS, cloud, business critical, private applications, by keeping track of the monitoring as well, right? So here it's like earlier, if you compare it with earlier data center stack, we used to have the bandwidth segregator, IPNEMA devices, bandwidth optimization devices like Riverbed, right? We used to have, load balancers, right? So all these devices, firewalls, IPS, UTM, all these devices were used to there in the data center. But now the things are like to prioritize your business critical application delivery, right? But now the thing is like one single device is able to give you all of it. Now, this app-defined fabric is helping you to ensure seamless experience by using your SD-WAN technology between the user and the applications. So this SD-WAN which Palo Alto has created, it is application-centric. Okay. Elastic network. So it's like you don't need manual intervention to do the WAN selections, or to do the failover and all that stuff, right? The device itself is intelligent enough to select the underlay, the carrier, basis on the SLAs, right? As per the business requirement. So you can bring multiple connectivities like 5G, MPLS, broadband, satellite, or internet lease lines, right? And this device will intelligently forward your traffic on those interlinks. It all depends on your overall architecture, how big you are. Accordingly, this fabric will be built. It is also providing you AI powered operations, right? So main thing, it's like in my NOC, I need assistance. Okay, I need my device should tell me about the problems. My device should ease out my operations, because the biggest challenge for NOC environments, it's like how do I manage my device? So that problem is also it is the uh, solving. Then comes your zero trust security. So it's like that earlier, if you're adding internet circuit on your enterprise network, due to compliance, it will become mandatory for you to have the firewall. If today I'm having 100 plus branches, I need to buy 100 firewalls, which is not feasible, right? The cost is very high for every firewall. Licensing cost is very high. On the other hand, I can optimize that cost by buying one centralized solution that will be delivering security through cloud. And on branches, I can have the SD-WAN routers. So the SASE architecture, it's like SD-WAN and SSE. So Prisma SD-WAN edge routers, we will be deploying it on the branch locations, through which we are going to build the IPsec tunnel with the Prisma Access, right? So that your internet traffic will come from the branch, hit the SD-WAN router, take the IPsec tunnel, reach out to your Prisma Access cloud, get the security and go over internet. This will become your transaction flow. So this will optimize the cost for you. Rather buying 100 firewalls, I can buy centralized cloud-based security solution and routers on edge devices. Now features you get out of the solution, it's like application SLA assurance framework. It's like this app fabric will create policy basis on, the SLAs which you're going to define. It will be deliver. It will be designed in a way to deliver the application SLA assurance. Let's take an example. We all do stock trading, right? And we know that every second counts in stock trading, right? If there will be latency, there will be jitter, things can go up and down. So the applications where latency and jitter is very important, very critical, right? And you should be giving most of the bandwidth to those applications to ensure that there should not be any problem. That assurance you get out of this. Okay. Then broadest support for network segmentation. So it is also giving you VRF functionality, right? So that you can also do segregation in your WAN network the way you used to do it inside the MPLS technology. So although you have IPsec tunnels, but you can segregate your WAN network for different services. Then it is also giving you SD-WAN with integrated IoT security, right? It also offers on-premise controller for Prisma SD-WAN. So it's not like that you have to go with the cloud-based controller. If there is a compliance, if there is a compliance for on-prem controller, it also gives you that option that you can go with the on-prem controller as well, right? Strata Cloud Manager will become your cloud-based controller, but if you want to go on-prem, you can take it. Then you have the command center where the AI is going to give you the meaningful insights from your WAN architecture, right? Whatever problems are coming up, incidents will be created automatically. You get a dashboard to see what is happening in your WAN architecture. It also gives you bandwidth on demand, right? So there are certain use cases where all of a sudden burstable bandwidth is needed. Your bandwidth will shoot, right? And mostly my customers, I have seen it that they struggle with this. Let's take an example. You have 500 devices in your branch and all of a sudden they all are on Microsoft updates, right? So bandwidth requirement will overshoot. Okay. So the way your bandwidth requirement is going to overshoot the moment, right? It will choke everything. So, if you need on-demand bandwidth to cater such problems, that option is also supported here, right? To cater your burstable bandwidth use cases. Then support for a 5G network, right? So 5G compatible routers earlier, at that point of time when 5G came into the public, right? Very less devices were there who were supporting the 5G based connectivities. But this Prisma Ion device, it supports 5G based connectivity as well. Advanced AI ops capabilities there. So, these are the couple of features which we will see during the training. Cloud Blades, zone-based firewall is also there in this box. Not the next generation firewall, but it also offers you zone-based firewall, right? And ADEM is also there, which is a new offering from Palo Alto, Autonomous Digital Experience Management, similar to ZDX, what we have seen in Zscaler, or Eternity, if you have worked upon the digital experience monitoring platform. So, these platforms, they keep on monitoring the user devices, traffic flow, and they understand. They give you the insight that where is the problem, what sort of issue user is facing. It helps you to capture the user experience and the application behavior, how they are performing across the regions and all that. Now, before going to the modes, that what type of modes we have, we need to understand the hardware models. So for small branches, we have this series. So it starts from 1200, right? Then we do have 3200 series, which you can go with your small branch, and they do come with inbuilt Wi-Fi. So you can say if your office is having 4 to 5 employees and they need Wi-Fi in the same box and LAN ports, so you can see that we have a lot of options available, ports, Wi-Fi connectivity. So it's like one router is giving you switching function, routing function, as well as access point function. So you don't need 3 devices if your office is small. For medium branches, you will go with the 5200 box, right? Which will help you to cater load of the medium branch. For big branch, you can go with the data center model, that is 9200. For data centers, for small data center, we will go with 3200 or 3200H series, right? For medium data center, we'll go with the 5200 series. For big data center, we'll go with the 9200 series. These are the models which you get, right? If you see the throughputs, then this is the data sheet available, right? So ION 1200 is going to give you throughput close to 700 Mbps. 1200S is also going to give you 700 Mbps. 3200 is going to give you 1.4 Gbps on DC and 1 Gbps on branch. 3200H is going to give you 1.4 Gbps at DC, 1 Gbps at branch. Because there are, two modes in which you can deploy this router, DC mode and branch gateway mode. All of it we will understand because the architecture, the way it is designed, it is a little bit different. So ION 9200 is going to give you 5 Gbps of the throughput at branch and 14 Gbps at DC. So if your branch needs more throughput, then you will go with the 5200. But if your data center is having more throughput requirement, then you will go with that. So this is this specifications of each model which you can go through. Then supported RF bands, because it is also going to support LTE, 3G, right? And what bands it is going to support out of it, you can also check that. And the carrier certifications available with these box, that is also available. Now, virtual platforms, you do have virtual platform options. So in our case, we have purchased 3100 02B, right? You can deploy it in ESXi, Hyper-V, KVM, right? And it can support up to 100 Mbps of throughput, right? 2B CPU, you will get 8 GB RAM and 40 GB disk. So for data center, we have 7108B model, which can give you up to 3 Gbps of throughput. And for medium, we have 3108. Now, when we talk about design, that what problem it is solving for me? Why should I go with this? What is the requirement? So this is how your architecture is going to look like. You have branches at a given location. You have installed SD-WAN router on that particular branch. Here,
Nitin, sorry. My name is Ritesh. Sorry, I can only see SD-WAN page. Are you showing something? Is everybody else can see?
I'm navigating to the slides. You are not able to see it?
Yeah, I can
I'm
see
stuck
that
on
as well.
SD-WAN page,
We can see
unfortunately.
the Palo Alto network.
You can see the
Okay, so my
design, right?
connection is okay. So my
Yes, yes, we
connection
can
is
see
Yeah,
that.
I can see.
sorry. I'll reconnect. My apologies.
No problem. You have given me a mini heart attack. So I was going through the slides. I thought it is freezed at my end. Okay. So it's like that on branch, we are going to have this ion appliance, which will giving me secure connectivity to the Prisma Access cloud. Okay. And from there, I can go to my data center. I can go to another branch. I can go to internet. I can go to SaaS application. So basically, if you compare it with Zscaler, right? Zscaler is giving you multiple services: ZIA, ZPA, ZDX. And if you're using ZIA, then private traffic you cannot handle through that. You need a private access service. Private access service cannot handle your public traffic. So you need to buy them, right? On the other hand, Palo Alto is saying that we are not going to segregate it basis on the service, because Prisma Access is nothing but your virtual Palo Alto firewalls only, right? So I was part of that team when this cloud was getting built back in 2020. So at that point of time, we used to get the 2.2 version of Prisma Access. So there, it is virtual Palo Alto firewall, right? Which is providing you the security. Right? It is nothing but whenever you onboard any node inside Prisma Access, RNSPN, MUSPN, SCCAN, right? So SCCAN is a router. Other than that, RNSPN and MUSPN is your virtual firewall. So it is giving you capacity to take care of your internet bound traffic as well as private application traffic from same tunnel. Now, what is the problem here, right? The problem here is like, if as per the compliance, because compliance is something which you need to fulfill if your client is asking you or if government is asking you. So with traditional options, you go compare it with Fortinet SD-WAN. So it will send your private traffic as well as your public traffic by same tunnel, same IPsec tunnel which you are building. Right? Let's take an example. In this training, I'll also show you that instead of Prisma SD-WAN device, we can also use Fortinet SD-WAN to build tunnel with the Prisma Access. Right? We can have hybrid deployment. So in this training, we are going to cover that. Few branches, we will use Prisma SD-WAN connectivity to the Prisma Access. Few branches, I'll connect with Fortinet SD-WAN. So I'll show you the hybrid deployment. That too, we will do it in the real production. Yeah, please.
Sorry, Nitin, you just said it like, how does it differ from Zscaler? What's the difference? Or
See, in
what it makes?
Zscaler,
Yeah.
yeah, in Zscaler, it's like for public traffic, you buy ZIA service because it cannot handle your private traffic.
Right. Got
So you
it.
need,
Yeah.
so for private, you need to buy ZPA, private
Right.
access service, right?
Yep.
Then
Uh-huh.
combinedly, it can handle your public and private traffic.
Right.
Here you don't need service bifurcation.
Okay.
Your tunnel which you are building, the fabric which you have built from your branch towards the Prisma Access can carry
Uh-huh.
your public traffic as well as your private traffic.
Okay. Now let me ask you just
Right?
one more thing. Which one is better? Which one is superior?
I'll give you the comparison at last. I'll
Okay.
open myself for doubts. Right? Let me just
Okay.
explain the concept
Thank you.
first. So the difference from other SD-WAN solution, when we go in SASE architecture, right? We build the IPsec tunnels. We start forwarding our traffic towards the cloud security provider, Prisma Access, or whatever it is, Zscaler or Ngcloudx. There, the tunnel is carrying both the traffic, private and public. Right? If you want to have that segregation, you can achieve it in Prisma Sdwan. And this is what that VRF means that I was talking about in features. Right? So that VRF is helping you to do the traffic segregation in your tunnel if it is needed, if it is a compliance. Okay? So you can have a separate VRF for your private traffic, separate VRF for your public traffic. And internet breakout, you're giving it through this Prisma Access node. Okay? And entire management is happening through Strata Cloud Manager, that is a cloud-based controller. All the analytics are going to that. It will give you the command center through which you can understand the things in a better way. I'll take the doubts, guys. Don't worry, don't worry. I'll open myself a doubt. Let me just explain few slides and then we should be good for the doubt. Then, what problem it is solving for me? The SD-WAN solution. So it's like I have data center, I have remote offices. I'm putting these appliances, and I need to have secure access to the public-based cloud services as well. So security, I'm getting it through Prisma Access service for my internet and SaaS-based traffic. And rest of the work, rest of the private traffic flow or internal applications, I'm accessing it through SD-WAN fabric. So I can have my underlay as internet, MPLS, LTE, 5G. On top of it, I'll build IPsec tunnel from one location to my data center location, right? And all of the work, I'll do it through a centralized controller that is Strata Cloud Manager. So that Strata Cloud Manager will be configuring my ION devices, will be configuring my Prisma Access, and both the events I will be getting on the single pane of glass, that is SCM, right? And if you do have Palo Alto firewalls, you can onboard them to the SCM as well. And then it will help you to get centralized visibility. These things are missing in Zscaler, right? We'll do the comparison, but these things are missing. Now, if I talk about scalability, you want to globally scale up, you can do it. For big customers, where multi-region data centers are there, branches are there across the globe, multi-cloud presence is there. So it gives you options to build your fabric and scale it across the globe. And since the security is coming from the cloud, the SSL decryption will not create bottleneck at your hardware level, right? And there are other offerings too, which will be solved through the cloud delivered security solution. So you don't need firewalls on your individual sites. From sites, you will be forwarding everything towards the central cloud, that is Prisma Access. From there, it will take you to the data center. It will take you to the your hyperscalers, Azure, GCP, AWS, and it will take you to the SaaS-based applications and normal internet. So you can get URL filtering, DLP, CASB, right? Your firewall from the cloud, right? And routing functionalities getting delivered through Prisma SD-WAN. So it's like you are getting best-in-class security from the cloud, and it is optimizing your WAN cost, and it is simplifying your deployment and operation. So this is what it is, Prisma SASE, right? When you're combining the complete solution. Okay? Yeah. So when you're combining the complete solution, you get this. Now comes Strata logging service. So I know that Strata Cloud Manager is doing the central management of my SD-WAN device, Prisma Access. Right? by firewalls. But what about logging? So they have also, earlier it was Cortex Data Lake. We used to know it, but now we have rebranded it to Strata Logging Service. Right? So whatever logging is generated on your devices, right? Everything is coming out with the Strata Logging Service, a centralized logging platform through which you can see, you can keep your logs for longer duration. So this SD-WAN device is taking care of your branch users, IoT devices, right? Uh, your internal traffic, private traffic, public traffic, right? Security is coming from the Prisma Access. Okay? The controller is sitting in the cloud, which is managing everything. So it's like a single control plane is able to deliver
What
us
about then?
a routing solution or security solution. Yeah, I'll open myself now for doubts because I can see a lot of doubts are there. I'll just stop sharing. Yeah, please go one by one.